Okay, so the next step is to put this is called your chine log, into your boat, right? So where the chine log goes, it slips right in here and it gets glued right inside the side at the bottom, right? So I'm going to show you on one I've already done. These are fit but not glued in. So I've got these chine logs fit in here. So they will fit right along the bottom here, and we're going to glue those in place. And these are going to be the strength of the joint between the sides and the bottom. So the side is very thin plywood, even on a life-size boat. It's fairly thin plywood. And the bottom piece is also plywood. So instead of just having a plywood to plywood small little joint there, we're adding a block of hardwood, or in our case, we're using pine. But on the large boat, it's mahogany. And so we're adding some solid wood, a long strip of it, to glue to the sides of this and to the bottom. So that's called a chine log. So you've got two big long chine logs, and we're going to bend this around and cut it to fit. So the first thing you want to do is bend the chine log. So hold it just gently at the ends and bend one way and then the other. You will find it is much bendier in one direction, so it bends much more smoothly and evenly in one direction, and it's a stiffer bend in the other direction, okay? So we want to bend the way it wants to bend. So this one bends this way, much easier, and this way, less easy. Okay, so we're going to put it in this way, which means we're going to turn this around. So I'm going to take this chine and I'm going to slip it in at the front here, because the first thing that I'm going to need to do is, I'm going to just put this over here to hold this up, is I need to mark what I need to cut off of this chine to make it fit up in here real nice. So if you look in there, you can see there's a gap, right? So I would like there to be no gap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my pencil here, right? So I've got a pencil, and I'm going to run the wood of my pencil along this right here. This is the stem, and the chine slides along the outside of inside the side here, and we want to draw on it this where it would meet this line, or a line parallel to this, so we can cut this board and have it snug right up to that. So the way to do this is you can take your pencil and you can run the wood of the pencil along this edge of the stem, and while you're doing that, if you hold this in the right position, it should draw a line fairly parallel on uh, on this board. Now, it's not going to be perfect, and part of the reason why it's not perfect is you can't get this all the way flat in here, right? But it's close, or closer than you would be just guessing. Now, the other thing, the inside of this stem is the shape of the side of this boat, right? So we want to draw the side of this boat on this as well. So you're going to take, so this board goes in like this, right? So we're going to put it on the outside here. And if you have, clothespins, this would be a good time to pin that. Use your clothespins to hold it on there, but you can also hold it and you press it against the outside, and you're going to use your pencil again to drag it along the side here, so you draw this second angle, right? So I have the top angle that I got from the stem and the adjoining angle that I got from the front of the boat. Now, what we need to do is to cut, try to angle this so you can see it there, to cut both of these lines at once. So you're cutting this line and this line at once. Okay, so that sounds a little bit tricky. Now, for those of you that did this in the shop, you used a saw, I believe, to cut this. We used a big Japanese pull saw because the board was much bigger. But for this job, you can actually just use a utility knife. So I'm going to get so that I'm looking at both lines at once. This line here, and I'm going to slice, trying to follow both of those lines best that I can. Just making some slices. When I think I've got it pretty good, I can try to fit it. So it usually takes a couple times of fitting. So let's see, I've got this board, I'm going to slide it in here. Okay, so I can see that, you can see that it's touching at the front before it's touching at the back. So it looks like I need to change my angle a little bit. So let's see. There we go. I like that. I think that might be close. Kind of along the line here, except maybe right at the bottom. Be really careful whenever you're using a knife. Okay. I'm going to try this again. So I'm taking this and I'm sliding it in here. Okay, that's a pretty nice fit right there. I like that. It's not perfect, but it's pretty close. Okay, can you see that? You see how it's kind of parallel in there? So I could use some sandpaper to improve that. So I've just got a piece of sandpaper here, and I'm going to just drag this and see if I've made any improvement on that. Yes, I think I like that. Okay, so the front of this is fit. Now I have to work on the back, and I will show you that in the next video.